Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button, also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. And also follow me on social media at Boxingego. Now, I posted this on the page, and a lot of times if I talk about what the fans want to talk about, hot trending things, and I posted this 5 hours ago, 698 likes 5 hours ago, and it's Deontay Wilder and Tony Bellew. They were both in London for the Joshua Klitschko fight. Great fight. Catch the replay if you haven't seen it. Awesome fight. I did a post-fight breakdown, and 5 hours ago I posted this. Very simple. Don't do it, Tony. Deontay Wilder, hashtag Tony Bellew, Creed, right? And there's a lot of people who left comments and things like that. Now, in case you haven't heard, Deontay Wilder was ringside. I made a video about it. He was going to be at the Joshua Klitschko fight. Obviously, Tony Bellew being a UKer, he was there in attendance. Probably both working with Sky Sports, getting, professional fighters' opinions on the fight and commentary and stuff like that. And they were live on Sky Sports, and they were talking about potential fight between the two of them. Now, Tony Bellew, after he beat David Haye, he called out Deontay Wilder. And I thought it was a joke. I thought he was just saying that, and naturally he was going to move back to cruiserweight, where I believe he still has his title. But I don't know. It sounds like he might be serious about actually staying up at heavyweight. Now, Tony Bellew, he's not small. He's like 6'3". But I don't think this is a good look for Tony Bellew. And this is the problem, man. I understand boxing is a business. Everyone says if boxing is a business, it's a business. Ego, boxing's a business. I get it. Boxing is a business. We all get it. But the right thing should still happen with your career. And Tony Bellew did get stopped at light heavyweight by Adonis Stevenson, who definitely has punching power, stuff like that. Even though David Haye didn't stop him, he collapsed his Achilles heel and he was wounded. So to me, I haven't seen enough of Tony Bellew that would lead me to believe that he has a successful chance at heavyweight, right? And this is no shade to Tony Bellew. I like him. I even liked his role in Creed. Actually, I was like, man, they got Tony Bellew for the villain? I wasn't really feeling it when I heard who I don't know. It didn't sound that appealing to me. Then I watched it. I'm like, this is a good movie. I actually like Tony Bellew, his portrayal of Pretty Ricky Connolly and all that. So I liked it, right? I'll give credit where credit's due. But I just don't see it being a fit. And it's like the boxing as a business is one thing, but these fighters are like damaging their bodies, their careers for almost for a payday. Now, obviously, in the grand scheme of things, if you move up in weight and then you do the unthinkable, you're going to be the man. But there's also an adverse side to it, and that's just if you come up short. You know what I mean? What if you get starched and stretched and knocked out brutally? And I look at this picture of Vladimir Klitschko, Anthony Joshua, what they performed over the weekend, and it was phenomenal. They hurt each other, traded knockdowns. Joshua regained his second win and stopped Klitschko. 41-year-old in crazy shape. Both of them are in crazy shape. To me, when I say Tony Bellew, he's not, like, you can see him next to Joshua, he's not small, but he doesn't have the same type of shape. I don't think his power is gonna transition as the same. And he's getting into it with Deontay Wilder, and I think this is Wilder's brother. Who the is that guy, right? And to me, I don't understand these radical weight jumps. Now, I give Tony Bellew in terms of the heart department, he has that, because he didn't know David Haye, his leg would give out on him, his Achilles would collapse, and he would be injured. He still took the fight. That shows he has some stones, because if he didn't, he was prepared to go whatever amount of rounds with David Haye, and he didn't know David Haye would not be healthy, because there's no way you could foresee that. So Tony Bellew, he has heart for sure. You know what I mean? I don't think he's afraid of Deontay Wilder. I don't think he's afraid of fighting anyone. But it just, At some point there has to be some kind of barriers. Like Kell Brook going up, Kell Brook didn't even prove that he was, without a shadow of a doubt, the number one welterweight, because his best win was Sean Porter, and then he kind of started fighting people we knew he would easily beat: Jojo Diaz, Kevin Bezier, Frankie Gavin. We already knew the outcomes of that, right? And then he just jumped up out of nowhere. Chris Eubank and Eubank Jr. and Golovkin couldn't figure it out, so Eddie Hearn talked to Kell Brook. He said, "Oh, I'll take that pay. I'll do it." You know what I mean? But these fighters have to understand the implications. Like Kell Brook, we don't even know if he'll be the same fighter at welterweight, because he moved up in all this weight. He's fighting against a punishing style of fighter in Errol Spence Jr. Now he has to drop weight, and he's suffering from an eye injury. And I understand he had the surgery and stuff, but you know what I mean? Margarito's eye never fully repaired or recovered to me from the Pacquiao beating, and then Cotto made it worse in the rematch. You know what I'm saying? So these fighters, they gotta start looking at it. And when I think of Deontay Wilder and I think of Tony Bellew, again, I take nothing away from the heart of Tony Bellew, but that heart can also get you in trouble. And I think he already, like, when you look at, I'm not gonna say luck, but for this example, I guess I have to use the word luck. But when you get lucky in terms of, not that you didn't train for David Haye, but everything went perfect and you pulled a massive upset, I feel like luck is only going to be on your side. You're only going to defy the odds so many times, especially if you try pressing your luck. You know what I mean? If, like, someone trying to cheat death and they keep doing certain things that are super dangerous and they do it back to back to back. You know what I mean? Eventually, it's not going to go your way. Either you're going to get seriously hurt or it could be fatal or whatever the situation. Now, I'm not saying if he fights Wilder, it's going to be fatal. I don't believe that. But I just don't think I don't understand the motive behind it. You know what I mean? Deontay Wilder, to me, is too damn big and he's too strong. Like, here's an old picture of Tyson Fury. So Bellew has some size, but I just it's different because it's where you started out. Like, there's a lot of guys that are tall and have, you know what I mean, they could probably go up, but it's still different when you're competing with guys. Wilder has never fought at cruiserweight as a pro. You know what I mean? Tyson Fury wasn't fighting at cruiserweight. It's not like Holyfield moved from cruiserweight and then he goes up, or Roy Jones coming up to heavyweight. It's not that. You're fighting a guy who's 6'7", possibly, right? And I just don't see that. And you already were successful with the David Haye. He's a little bit older than Wilder. He's had nagging injuries, and everything worked to your benefit in that fight. You did it. Bravo. So I really thought cruiserweight was where he would go back. But now we're hearing talk about Bellew versus Deontay Wilder. And he said there's an interview where him and Wilder are kind of going back and forth before the Sky Sports interview. And he's like, I have a better ring IQ than you. Which I probably wouldn't even dispute that. I think in terms of a boxing brain and just technique and stuff like that, it's certainly possible. But I also really value the sport of boxing. And I met Wilder. We were in Las Vegas. I want to say Ward Kovalev week or whatever. Dude, he's a big dude, man. Like, pause. He's a big dude. And skills are great, but the skills are only gonna, there's ways to overcompensate skill, especially when size comes into play. You know what I mean? Like, even the fight with like Canelo Alvarez, that's a difficult fight to me. That's a difficult fight for Canelo Alvarez. But realistically speaking, Canelo Alvarez was probably killing himself to make 154. He was killing himself to make 155. He was killing himself to make those weights. So even him moving up to 164.5, he's young, and this is probably more where his body should be at anyway. And I think he was having to struggle that extra bit more to make 54 and 55. Liam Smith and Amir Khan and a lot of catch weights and stuff like that. So that's a little bit different. And again, him fighting a bigger man, we're gonna find out this weekend what the outcome is. But Wilder, I just think he's way too big and way too strong. And even though Tony Bellew is a good boxer, it's within reason. You know what I mean? It's like Floyd Mayweather he's a good, he's like the best boxer. But if you start putting him at 168 and 160, you know what I mean? Even a guy like David Lemieux, just based on power, it's not that he's a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather, but there has to be a limit. You know what I mean? What if David Lemieux, who could barely make 160, what if he rehydrates to 172, 173, and he got cracks like that? You know what I mean? Would Floyd Mayweather or Pacquiao be able to accept a shot like that from him? You know what I mean? Even Curtis Stevens, who's made a career at 160 and 168, has knockouts, and he went to sleep from David Lemieux. So that's my whole point, is like a guy like Pacquiao, no matter how, Pacquiao is a better style than David Lemieux in terms of like he's awkward and stuff, but size matters at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Pacquiao couldn't fight Danny Jacobs. It wouldn't even make sense. I don't even think he would be able to fight Canelo when he was at 155. I think Canelo would have been just too big, too strong. So that's kind of what I feel with the Tony Bellew, and this weight jumping is getting radical and it's getting crazy. Look at this picture of Wilder. He's knocking out a dude that's 6'6", former football player turned boxer, athletic as hell, in shape, and he's knocking out guys like that. You know what I mean? So I really don't see what Bellew is gonna offer him. Even if he made it complicated and was able to complicate it, I just think it'll be another Canelo, Amir Khan type of situation. And that's what I really feel. Amir Khan was doing great versus Canelo, winning the first 4 rounds in my book easily, but there has to be some type of limitations. Look at Gerald Washington. Look how big he looks. He looks, you know what I mean, equivalent size, if not maybe a little bit even massier than Wilder. And Wilder knocked him out in a fight he was losing. You know what I mean? So it's getting this boxing is a business stuff is getting outlandish. Like, why are we entertaining this? Look how big he looks.
Congratulations. Give him down.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just think, and I'm not even blaming Wilder, because Wilder, to his credit, he is actually calling out all these guys. He called out Joseph Parker. He said, "I'll fight you in July." You know what I mean? The video, I'll show you guys. And Joseph Parker is fighting some guy I've never even heard of. You know what I mean? But this is the video. So sweet and simple. All you got to do is say yes to fight against me in July, Joseph Parker. Look, there's a call out.
What's up, baby? This is your boy Deontay, the Bronze Bone Wilder, WBC heavyweight champion of the world. Look, I'm just gonna cut straight to the chase, man. I hear about this Huey Fury backing out 2 weeks before a fight. Come on, man. Y'all already know they got a history of doing stuff, a family history as that. Oh yeah, I heard about the injury. Yeah, they said it was a lack of self-confidence, and that sounds about right. But anyway, moving on, man, 'cause that's ridiculous. Joseph Parker, if you're really serious about fighting somebody, if you're really serious about unifying the division, if you're really serious about getting the fans what they want to see, then what other person that's available than me? I got the WBC, you got the WBO, let's make it happen. I'm available right now. Forget all them other scrubs that's up in the division coming up. Right now, you're talking about another champion versus another champion. Let's make a unification bout at the end of the year. We'll get a mega fight against the winner of Klitschko and John. What's up?
And see, this is what I'm talking about. People got it twisted. People thought Wilder was saying, he says right here in his text, in the caption, to fight against me in July, Joseph Parker, right? So Huey Fury backed out. He said, I'll fight you in July. And at the end of the year, have a mega fight unification with the Joshua Klitschko winner. Because whoever wins Wilder or Parker will have multiple belts, and then have a mega unification versus, obviously Joshua won the fight if you watched it. Some people got it twisted and thought he was saying he'll fight Parker at the end of the year. No, he's saying I'll fight Parker in July. And after July, the winner of Joshua Klitschko, which was Joshua, have a mega fight at the end of the year. You know what I mean? People got it twisted his words up. And that's not what Joseph Parker decided to do. Joseph Parker is now fighting, I don't even know the dude's name. So that's what his team feels is the best next move. And it doesn't look like they wanted it with Wilder right now. You know what I mean? That's their right. They want to get more experience under their fighters. belt or whatever. That makes sense, but you can't blame Wilder for that. You know what I mean? He's calling him out. He's saying, I'll fight you next. And it's Team Parker who looked in another direction, right? Same thing with Joshua. Joshua beat Klitschko, and the person who was ringside, Wilder, he didn't really call him out post-fight in the mic. And Max Kellerman said, I wish you would have called out Wilder. You know what I mean? He was in attendance. You didn't call out him. You called out Tyson Fury, who's clearly overweight right now, and I don't even think he was in the building at the Wembley. So we can't really blame Deontay Wilder. I'm just saying my piece as far as the Tony Bellew fight is I don't see it. You know what I mean? I don't. I cover boxing. I'm a vlogger. I'm a reporter. So if it happens, I'm definitely gonna watch it just to see. But I don't think that's a good next step for Bellew. Who there's Andrew Tabiti. There's other options. The guy that just beat Marco Huck. There's cruiserweight options. You know what I'm saying? So that's, to me, there's Usyk. You know what I mean? That's, to me, where Tony Bellew fits. And all this weight jumping, this radical weight jumping, it's getting extreme. And it's like these fighters, I understand you're a fighter. They don't care, okay, you're willing to fight anybody, but you don't have to prove that. Be sensible with your career. That's just how I see it. Let me know what you guys think. Wilder versus Tony Bellew. Do you think Tony Bellew has any chance? And I'm not throwing shade. I don't think we can gauge, because even the David Haye, even though he lost the fight and got stopped or whatever, he wasn't knocked out like that. Like he was crippled. He couldn't walk. You know what I mean? So, but before that, when his leg was operable, he started calming down into the fight, and he was getting to Tony Bellew a little bit more. You know what I mean? And I don't know why Bellew believes that Haye has more power than Deontay Wilder. I don't know. I don't see that. I know Haye can crack. He has power for sure. He has power to hurt you, stop you. But again, that's another cruiserweight who moved up, and he just carried up and put some muscle on and has power. But still, it's a little bit different. But that's just my thoughts about Wilder versus Tony Bellew. A lot of people, they were talking about this particular fight. I'd rather see Wilder fight actual heavyweights. But again, I mean, if the fans want it, he said he'll make the fight. But I just don't see. I think Tony Bellew should be at cruiserweight, to be honest. That's just my honest opinion. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.